It's okay to try to be the best version of yourself, but don't try to be the best version of some random girl on Pinterest who is at a farmer's market. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Felicia and this is the Feminine Fancy. It's been such a long time since I've been on here consistently making videos, talking with you guys, but I promised you that after my wedding, I would get back to making content, and I was serious about that. So I'm back and I'm so excited to be making content again. I wrote a blog post yesterday, 2 days ago maybe, called Femininity, Getting Back to Basics, and I'll link it down below so you guys can read it, because you know, I expand upon things in there that I'm probably not going to talk about in this video, but I wanted to make a video about this as well because I don't know about you guys, but I've just been feeling like I'm a bit lost on the internet these days. It's like every time I go onto TikTok or onto YouTube, I'm getting like something new pitched. I feel like every time I go on YouTube, there's like an elevator pitch of like, this is how you become the perfect woman. This is how you become that girl. And it's just like, it's been a lot. There's also been a lot of talk about, you know, quiet luxury and a lot of talking about like your femininity in relation to wealth. I know with Sophia Richie and her wedding and everything, that like the way that kind of took the world by storm for some reason, which I was going to make a video on Patreon about this. Like, I saw the wedding, I saw all the pictures. It was beautiful, obviously, but it just looked like another wedding. It was just another wedding. Like, I don't know, they all kind of look the same after a while. And I mean, maybe it's because I've been wedding planning for the last year and a half that I was like, yeah, that looks nice. Like, that looks pretty. It looks like a wedding. The way that, you know, culture and society just like jumps onto things and is like, oh, well, you know, she went from dressing this way to dressing this way, and that's how she bagged this billionaire or millionaire or whatever. It's just gotten very extreme. And I just want to take a moment to reflect and kind of like dial back, like get back to the origins of what femininity is and like how it genuinely can improve and impact your daily life. And this isn't to say that the content that's coming up now isn't like genuinely trying to help. I just feels like it's transactional, I suppose. Whereas, I mean, personally, I feel like back in 2019 and 2020, when some other creators were making femininity and, you know, homemaking and even like level up content, I don't know, it just felt different. And maybe that's just me. Maybe this is like what it's like to get older and like see all the young kids and be like, back in my day. I don't know, but it's feeling different to me. And so I wanted to take a moment to get back to the origins of the femininity, you know, not movement, but just what it is and how it can help you and the powerful resource that tapping into your femininity is. I do want to say that I think we're kind of talking about two different things in these discussions, right? I think that there is a difference between like femininity and this sort of feminine energy, divine feminine that is really popular now. I think we're in like separate lanes. So I don't know that we can even, you know, that I can even compare, because I just think it's two completely different ideologies and schools of thought that do share some overlap, but I don't think that we're in the same, how can I put this? I think we're in the same building, but different rooms, I guess is the best way I can put it. On my channel, I've never really talked about, there's not really a lot of talk about like divine feminine energy or manifestation or anything like that. We're kind of on different tracks a little bit. So it's been kind of confusing for me because you see that word feminine in videos and you're like, oh, this seems like it would apply to me because I'm interested in femininity. And then you watch it and you're kind of like, this doesn't resonate. Like, this doesn't hit the same that it did a few years ago with the more traditional femininity content. Personally, I think that the biggest difference between that version of feminine content and the more traditional version is the fact that I think I think that, or modern, I guess, the new age femininity content is very self-focused. Now, obviously on my channel, I've talked about glow ups, leveling up, how to improve yourself. This is somewhat of a self-help channel, or at least it was at one point. I think that that content is very much hyper-focused on how you can get everything you want, get the man you want, get it's really self-focused. It's really focused on how you can get everything that you want out of this life, no matter what. And again, I don't think that's inherently a bad thing. I just think that that's more of the focus, where I think the sort of femininity and femininity content that I relate to more is about your character and is about what kind of person do you want to be? Like, what kind of woman do you want to be? Yes, you can wake up at 5 a.m. and you can do Pilates and you can drink a green juice and you can do this and you can do that. But who are you, right? Like, what is your character? How do you treat people? What are your dreams and your goals? How do you want to be a light in this world? And I think that that's where I get lost when I'm watching that content, is because I can appreciate the messaging of how to become your best self and how to, be that girl, right? Like, I think we all experience a certain level of a desire to be that girl, whatever that means to us. It's different to everybody. For me, I just feel like that element of your character and encouraging women to cultivate good and true character is just missing. I don't want this to come off like I'm saying that women just need to be these like perfect, pious little angels. Like, obviously, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not that. However, character is very important to me. I try my best to be a good person in this world, a good human in this world. And that is something that I take very seriously. So when I see this other femininity content, or this content that is, being marketed as femininity through this divine feminine label, but all it focuses on is, the exterior, or all it focuses on is how you can get everything that you want, it just doesn't feel right to me. I think we also need to be very careful about content that is marketed as femininity content, but is actually just misogynistic. I've seen so many things on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube recently that claim to be wanting to help women. Oh, we just want to help women, and then goes on to degrade women or say things that are just simply not true about women, especially those of us who are a little bit more traditional in some aspects and who embrace and embody traditional femininity. I think about the creator Just Pearly Things, and I've combed through a bit of her content because it just, to me, I feel like the whole thing must be a shtick. It must be pandering. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing the whole thing, but we could talk about that another day. There was a video that I saw with her. She was saying, like, what modern woman do you know that knows how to cook? Like, what woman do you know that knows how to clean? And like, she was like saying a lot. And I was sitting there, and maybe I'll see if I can find it so I can play it, but I was like looking around at the women that I follow and my followers and those of us who are married and are cooking and cleaning and just being adults in an adult relationship. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about?
Somebody can help.
Yeah.
Sure. But what percent of women today are really that feminine? What percent of women today really know how to cook, really know how to cater to men? Not many. So you're going to say, oh, well, they could have personality. They could. If women were so good in the West, why are men getting their passports and leaving?
Yeah, it's true.
And the amount of people who are just like clamoring to her every word and really believing the things that she's saying about women, we have to be really careful about wolves in sheep's clothing. Sure, like some of the content and some of the things that she says might not be super inflammatory, but the more that you listen and the more that you hear, it sounds like she doesn't like women. Like, it sounds like these people don't like women, and we have to be really careful about listening and watching and engaging with content that claims that they want to, claims to be about helping women, or really is just misogyny in, like a pretty dress. As I mentioned in my blog post, there's just a lot going on with the content these days. There's just a lot of schools of thought. And when you have platforms where you have billions of users and billions of people who have the opportunity to make content or to engage with content, of course you're going to get various schools of thought. So this is not even like, this isn't even, I'm not even like wanting to shame or say anything bad about, you know, the divine feminine energy crowd or the soft life crowd or the sprinkle crowd. Like, I'm not saying anything negative about them. What I'm saying is that here on this channel, I want to promote traditional femininity, and I want to focus on the fruits of the spirit, and I want to focus on, you know, everything that is good and true and beautiful, and how we can utilize traditional characteristics and traits of femininity to enhance our lives, our relationships, to enhance just how we feel about ourselves on a daily basis. It's not about chasing perfection. It's not about, you know, those pictures with the girls at the grocery store in the green section and they just look so perfect in their Lululemon. It's like, it's not about any of that on this channel. Here, it's going to be about, especially now that I'm married, I feel like I will have a different perspective as time goes on. I won't feel super comfortable talking about marriage until I've been in it for a while, because like, what do I know? I want to speak more about the traditional elements and aspects of femininity and how it can benefit and enhance your life, because that's what I'm really passionate about. That's what I fell in love with when I started watching this content in 2018 and 2019. Like, that's what I really enjoyed. I know many of you commented on my community tab post where I put little blurbs from the blog and said that you were feeling a similar way. I feel like it's just gotten out of control. It's like, what are we doing? It's just gotten to the point where, at least for me, I've been feeling confused. I've been feeling like, like I'm looking around on the internet and I'm like, wait, where's the traditional femininity content? Like, where's the homemaking content? Like, I can't find it. Maybe it's not as popular as it was a few years ago. But that's the thing, is like, it's not about popularity. It's not about like getting the most amount of views. It's about engaging with something that's going to edify you in the long term. Like, these trends that come, look how quickly they go. They go very quickly. Like, they come, everyone's talking about it, and then it's over. I think about like the lucky girl thing, and it's like, it came, it went viral for 5 seconds. People made TikToks, people made videos, those videos blew up, and now it's gone, right? It's like no one's talking about it anymore. And that's what happens with these sort of newer versions of feminine content, because it's not really rooted in anything. It's not really like, there's no foundation. It doesn't feel as rooted in something that is, you know, authentic as I think some of the content in years past has been. I know that if I've been having a hard time finding traditional femininity content, then I'm sure you guys have as well. And there are still creators making that style of content, but unfortunately, we live in a world of algorithms. It doesn't get pushed out as much. It's harder to find. It's not like we're getting it thrown at us every day anymore. Now we're getting thrown at us a lot of this other more new and modern version of it. And so we just have to do our due diligence. You have to be you have to work a little bit harder to find that content and to engage with it. Because if you want creators to make that, you have to engage with it. That's the other thing. Like, the younger generation is going to engage. One thing Gen Z is going to do is leave a comment. So if they like something, if they've jumped onto something, if they love the idea of a lucky girl and, you know, getting everything you want out of life, one thing they're going to do to see that content again is comment on it. And so we have to do the same thing. When we see something that we like, when we see something that we resonate with, we will have to engage. And that's not like a pitch for you guys to, you know, comment on this video or like this video. That's just the facts. That's just the truth of the matter. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I think that it is important that as women who are more so geared towards the traditional version of femininity, it's better for us to focus on that and not get distracted by the flashiness of the new style of femininity content. And like I said, there can be some overlap, but I think we will have to focus on the things that we want to focus on, which are your character, your gentleness, the way that you care for others, your empathy, your presentation. Like, that's what we'll have to focus on. That's the kind of content that I would like to make going forward, because I miss it. So So if you have anything in that vein that you would like to see, then please do leave a comment down below and let me know. But we will have to focus on those things and try not to get distracted by all of these new trends that pop up, and really embrace and love the person that we are. It's okay to try to be the best version of yourself, but don't try to be the best version of some random girl on Pinterest who is at a farmer's market. Be who you are. Be the best version of yourself that you can be, and your true femininity will shine through. And I've always said that. I've always said that your feminine expression, your femininity will come through when you are being authentic to yourself as a woman, and you know who you are as a woman, and you're not easily swayed and distracted by all of these new trends and, you know, popular phrases that pop up encouraging you to switch what you're doing and now start living life like this. That is not what we're about. We are about diving into our authentic femininity, being who we truly are created to be, and allowing our authenticity to showcase our femininity to the world. That's what we're doing over here. And so if that resonates with you, please leave a comment down below and say, I'm in, if that's what you're on the internet for, and if you've missed this content as well. If you want, you can read my blog post on this topic in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for waiting as I came back from the craziness of the wedding. We actually just got our wedding video, well, our wedding video teaser back from our videographers, and oh my god, it's beautiful. It's so good. I don't know. I'm so torn between like not wanting to share it and wanting you guys to see it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But the day was beautiful. It was the week was beautiful. Well, the weekend was beautiful, and it was just such a great time. So maybe I'll share that. I'm still waiting for photos, and we'll see which ones that I feel comfortable sharing once they come in. But thank you for your patience. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I do post a lot more over there. So if you want like daily updates and stuff, that's where you would go. You can find me on Instagram at _thefemininefancy_. You can actually find, like, not the wedding stuff, but like I made a little reel from our mini moon that we took, and then we're going on a honeymoon in a few months, but I made a little reel from our mini moon, and then I made another one of like the morning, because I spent the morning with my mom, and it was just so sweet and special. So if you want to see those are on Instagram, and I will leave the link to my Instagram and all my socials down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My camera's about to die, which means it is time to go, but I love you, I appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!